We are the underdogs. We're going to be picked somewhere 12th or 13th in this league. And it's up to us to change that. Nobody else is going to do it. We have to change it. And we change it with our discipline, with our action, and how we show up every day to work.
Hello and welcome to Pitt Beyond the Script alongside head men's basketball coach Jeff Capel, and I'm Casey Guerra of Pitt Studios. Coach, it has certainly been one of the most unique off seasons. We just talked about that before this interview. How has the team been adjusting? How have your coaches been adjusting to this time?
You know, it's a really, really difficult time. And one of the things about being a good player and trying to be a good coach is you have to be able to adjust and adjust on the fly. Now, what we're dealing with is something that no student athlete, coach, no one has ever dealt with as you deal with a global pandemic. Right now, all the things with social justice, an election coming up unlike anything we've ever seen. And so it's a lot. It's a lot. Our guys are doing well. You know, they're pushing through. We're trying to push through. We're trying to create a space, an environment for a few hours each day where you can kind of escape, where it's fun. It's somewhat normal, as normal as it can be. It still is not normal coaching in a mask and trying to communicate in a mask.
Some of you are coaching in gloves too.
Gloves,
all of it.
Yes. No, it's very, very different. We respect, you know, the virus. We are trying to do everything we can to adhere to what the doctors and the scientists and the CDC and trying to create a safe environment for not only us and our student athletes, but for all the student athletes and people that work here at Pitt and our community. And so, but it's a very interesting time. But I've been really proud of our guys for how we've persevered and how we've pushed through and how we've tried to adjust.
You've mentioned the three challenges: the election, social injustice, COVID-19, not in any particular order, but you've been very vocal about it, which a lot of people admire, myself included. Is that kind of the culture you're trying to develop on your team as well?
Yeah, you know, one of the things I've shared with each player that I've coached once I got into this profession is you should never identify yourself as just a basketball player. I did that when I was their age, and everything in my life revolved around how did I play. That's how I judged myself as a person. As I got older and became a little bit more mature and started to understand things, I realized that I'm way more than that, than just a basketball player. And so since I got into coaching, when I was 27 years old and I became the head coach at ECU, I talked to our guys about these things. I talked to them about the importance of voting, the power of voting. I talked to them about, you know, people died, people fought for you to have the right to do that. Unfortunately, I've had to talk to my teams about social injustice from way back then. This is something that, as a black person in this country, this is not new. It's just more visible now. You can't hide behind it now. But I have always been vocal since, you know, I started to feel better about me and understand my voice and understand my platform, and mainly, Casey, to understand the responsibility I have as a black man in this country. Will and Nike, you should be talking to these. You guys should be talking to X right here.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. I know
you.
the Pitt staff does, the fans certainly do. Shifting gears, I know it's hard to, okay, let's talk basketball now, but third year now you're entering. Is it hard to keep developing this culture, especially in the circumstances, or when you guys are at practice, you're able to keep pushing that agenda forward?
Yeah, you know, as you try to continue to develop and create the culture that we want, the thing that was hard was the summer. The summer is a big part of kind of creating that and establishing that, because normally we'll have some guys stay here for the first session of summer school. And then once we get to session 2, we have our whole team. And that's where your team building starts. That's where all those things start to happen. Your guys start to get in shape, you're lifting, your freshmen, your older guys, which we have some older guys now that have been with us for a couple of years. They're kind of trying to create the culture, to teach the culture. Obviously, the summer was taken. You know, we spent weekly meetings on Zoom, but I think we've made some major strides. This is the first year we have 13 full scholarship players, which is the max we can have. So we have some depth. We've added some size. I think we've added talent. We have some returning guys back. So we're excited. Now it's trying to figure out how to mesh it all together in the midst of chaos.
Ready?
Stay tuned. More coming up with Coach Capel after this.